1997 to today, you talked about. Many people, when we look back over the past decade, one of the big headlines will, of course, be Iraq. Why don't we cut straight to the chase on this one? And this question is from Rex Regis, okay? And he has emailed in to say, why didn't you resign for taking our country to war on faulty information?
Because the basis on which we went to war was the breach of UN resolutions. There's no doubt Saddam was in breach of those resolutions. And if you still had him in power today, okay, you would have a different set of problems, but you'd have a major set of problems. Now, I will never, you know, Iraq, the judgment about Iraq in the end will be made in the longer term. But for me, I can't, you know, and I've never been able to do this, say to people that I think it was the wrong thing to remove him, because I don't. I think it was the right thing. And I think what is happening in Iraq today is tragic and a huge challenge, but it is being deliberately created by people who don't want the Iraqis to get their country on their feet when they do want to get it on their feet.
Okay, you said that the major reason for going to war was Saddam being in breach of UN resolutions. Can I ask a supplementary to that? Wasn't it a political mistake in terms of the fortunes of your own government to pin so much on the information from intelligence services, the belief that the WMD were there, and that and wasn't that a hostage to fortune for you?
There are only two facts that we know about this. One is that he had WMD because he used them.
Against Kurds many years before.
Yeah. And also because you'd had the inspectors in 1998 when we first taken military action against Iraq, and the inspectors had said there's plain breaches of the UN resolutions. And the second thing, you know, is that we haven't found them. So
you think they may have been there at that time?
I think between those two propositions is absolute speculation. It could have been that he got rid of them before the invasion. We don't know. But the fact is, the idea that Saddam did not pose a threat, there was a reason why we had outstanding, I don't know how many UN resolutions against him. Now, in the end, look, people will agree or disagree about this, and the argument will go on for ages. But the reason we have a problem today is a different...
I accept that, but
something quite different has happened.
But I think the reason the Labour Party has a problem today, and our poll ratings are lower and our membership is lower, and this is the Labour Party site we're doing this on, is that a lot of people resigned over the way the war was presented to them, and they felt deceived, is not to put too strong a word on it. They felt that they'd been led up the garden path about these weapons of mass destruction and in 45 minutes, and that we went to war under circumstances that turned out not to be true in their opinion.
Yes, but I think that actually for many people in the Labour Party, I think that they could accept the argument for it. I think it's been incredibly difficult for us. But I also think that had we chosen a different path, it would also have been difficult for us politically as well.
So do you feel that that by pinning it on WMD and there being no WMD found, that is not a resignation issue, as some people feel?
Well, I think if people felt they were being deliberately deceived, of course it would be. But that's why we had a 6-month inquiry, the Hutton inquiry into it, whether that was true or not.
Okay.
And,
so,
you know, in the end, you know, when people look back at it now, and it's a very easy thing for our political opponents to say, well, a whole lot of lies made up about it. We have had 4 different inquiries into that allegation. Each have come to the same result, and they only could have come to one result, because the fact is, everybody, including the international community that passed the resolution back in November 2002, believed that there was an active WMD threat.
Okay, but no WMDs were found. I'm sorry to keep going on about this, but it's a really big
no,
thing for your, it's a really good thing for your campaign.
No
WMDs were found.
There's no doubting about the political
the damage, the political damage. I mean, no WMDs were found. Do you think that's an issue on which you should apologise?
Well, I have apologised for that. I mean, I've said, yes.
Sorry.
No, I mean, I have. I've said that on many occasions. I've said that, of course, we have to apologise for the fact that the information was wrong. What I will not apologise for is removing Saddam, and I will certainly not say to people that what was said to them over that was made up or a deception, because it simply wasn't. And as I say, if you go back to the international community in November 2002, the reason that that resolution was passed was that everyone was of the same view, because he had used WMD against his own people and had always said he wouldn't give it up.
Okay. Well, thank you, Prime Minister, for those answers. We're dividing this up into 3 chunks. So we're going to take a quick break now, and then we'll be back with more of your questions about domestic policy and public services and what the Prime Minister's plans are after he's left office. Thank you.